There you go. All right. So I am John Patrick, and we are doing what I hope to be a new series here for our My Fun Life group, which is a profiles in success. People within our team, within our organization, who've gotten involved, who are making a difference and making things happen. And what we want to do is get them on here and just kind of pick their brains, find out a little bit more about them and about what they're doing. And I'm thrilled today to have Chance Jennings with me from not quite yet brisk and blustery Michigan. And Chance, I really appreciate you having taking the time to be with me today.
I appreciate you taking the time to be with me, actually.
Oh, well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about you. I mean, I know, but nobody who's going to watch this has probably been introduced to you yet. So tell us a bit about you. Where are you from? How old are you? What do you do up there?
I'm Chance Jennings. I graduated 2 years ago, so well, a year and a half ago, 2012, from Jefferson High School, and I now attend Monroe Community College. I'm 19 years old, and I was looking online for an easy way to make money, trying to help my family out. My dad, he was diagnosed with MS a year and a half
Mhm.
ago, and so I've been trying to help my parents out with bills. And I took the first year off of college, so instead of going right to college after high school like most kids do, I took the first year off and I went straight to work. I started working with a company called Vector Marketing. They sell Cutco knives. I don't know if you've heard about them.
I've heard of them, yeah.
And and that's where I actually started. And I think I got most of my skills were talking with people and being able to sell, I should say. And then after that, I felt short because I wasn't able to drive out there anymore because of money and expenses. So I started working at McDonald's, and then started searching online. And I fell across your blog actually, and ever since then, it's been looking up, looking great. So
Fantastic. So if I'm going to immediately, the first question I'm going to get off track from where I plan to be. One of the most important things we talk about in this profession is having a really powerful why. If you ask people, why do you want a home-based business? People will say money a lot of times, but that's a half-hearted answer.
mm-hmm.
That yeah, maybe they want more money. Well, they could work 80 hours a week and have more money, right?
Yeah,
People are looking for a lifestyle or there's something more powerful behind it. Now, I've never asked you this question before, so am I right that part of your why is not really is not even a dream of future mansions and Porsches or Ferraris. It's to help because your dad got MS.
yes, it's actually to help support my family, which is the reason why I started this, and it's the reason why I want to help other people succeed, is so that way they can help their families and their friends out.
Well, the reason I got you on, Chance, is because like you and I have been talking before, that the way My Fun Life is structured, once somebody gets their first three in,
Mm-hmm.
that they can continue to introduce people, help people with this opportunity, and it benefits them. But everything begins to benefit the group that they're growing with. We pay it forward is one way of saying it, or we're all pulling in the same direction. And I can see you on Facebook, and I can see in my back office that honestly you're on fire. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. You've come in and you're getting a lot of interest and you're getting a lot of traffic into your websites. People coming in and taking a tour and seeing what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really what I want to pick your brain on today. What can you share with people about what are you doing? Maybe on a day-by-day basis, or pick two or three of the methods that you're using. But what are you doing to reach out and share this opportunity with people?
Well, as you can see, I'm a little younger, and I feel that I'm able to go after those college students. I'm able to connect with students and get them away. So they say majority of kids nowadays are going to college, right? And they can't afford college. It's too expensive, and all they're doing is putting themselves in debt. So what I've been doing is kind of not straying kids away from college, but trying to get them to look at other things before they start college. So what I've done is I've gone to my high school and I've handed cards out, my cards out.
Sweet.
I've handed them out to old classmates that I've gone to school with, and I've had them hand them out to their seniors and their friends, trying to get a hold of the kids before they get out of high school. So that's been helping me a lot. Like I said, I've been going around the college campus. I'm personally going around handing out cards and asking them. Simple thing as they is, in 10 weeks, how would you like to make $186,000? How would you like to make a difference in someone else's life?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been going around. I hand out my personal business cards, and I leave it at that. If they ask any questions, I tell them to follow me up tomorrow or anything else.
Okay. Okay. You have your email address on that card as well?
Yes, I do. I have my email address and my Twitter account on this card, also with my name and number.
Okay. And a website, I'm assuming,
Yep.
going to your lead capture pages. Not a separate blog, right? Just the lead capture pages that we get standard with My Fun Life, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to touch on is that we had talked a few weeks ago, you were actually talking about putting up flyers on bulletin boards.
Mm-hmm.
And, what's interesting is I have done that before. I'm going to reach over here. Sorry. I actually used to carry this with me. It's a little bag. If you listen, there's some thumbtacks in there, and I would take, I would use Excel. I would create two little flyers, cut them in half. They'd have little tear tabs at the bottom, typically with a website. I've done that before, and it's always done pretty well for me. I have not done it with My Fun Life, and you brought up flyers. I actually started thinking about it, and gosh darn, if I can find a student up at my local college, I'm going to pay them to go hang these things up for me, or just take 3 hours and go up there one day and do it. You brought that up, but you actually did something a little bit different. Share that with everybody.
What do you want me to share? Like
The cards. You put the cards up.
Oh, I put instead of the flyers, is what I did is I made business cards. And my business cards is I posted them and they come with this little card holder. And I put 40 cards and I post them to bulletin boards and I just leave them sit there. So instead of them tearing that little sketch at the bottom, the
Yep.
little piece of paper, they're actually getting something more professional and more real. So it kind of throws out the scam idea of it. Is what I'm going for. So.
It's a little more professional. You're exactly right. And where did you share with everybody? Where'd you get those cards at?
Vistaprint.com.
Vistaprint.com. Good quality, and they're cheap.
Yeah.
I love Vistaprint. For the life of me, I don't know how they ever make any money, but I love Vistaprint. Now, when you Facebook, you're on Facebook a lot. How are you using that? Are you mostly just posting on your timeline, or what are you doing there?
Facebook, I'm mostly just posting on my timeline. I've direct messaged a couple people, but mostly more friends and family. So I mean, I don't try to direct message anybody that I wouldn't already know.
Okay.
So if I don't know them personally, then I don't even try to associate with them through a direct message, because a lot of people I found get offended if you're sending direct messages, or they think it's spam, or
Yep.
they won't even look at it. So
Yep. Well, in one of the things, I will never proclaim to be a Facebook expert by any stretch. There are people who have come out with multi-unit, multi-module trainings on how to use Facebook, because once you start to look at Facebook, it's deep. You've got your timeline, and then you've got all these groups, and then you've actually got all the paid advertisements you can do on Facebook too. And I have done a little bit of paid advertisement with mixed successes. Okay. I'm allergic to paying for advertising. I just don't like spending money for advertising, but it's a mindset I've got to work around. One of the things is there's a ton of groups on Facebook that are there for advertising. Advertise your opportunity here, work from home moms, whatever it happens to be. And they're intended really for people to go post their ads on there. And I do that honestly about once a week. And once in a while, I'll have somebody connect with me or go visit my site from it. But you can find groups that are other top networkers, or if you've ever read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or if you haven't, read it. Uh, Professional groups around either top network marketers, business builders, in our industry specifically, which is travel. You could find some travel groups. There's not as many as I thought there would be, honestly. But go start participating in those groups. If it's a travel group, post some interesting pictures of places you'd like to go visit. Begin interacting with other people, respond to their posts, add some new stuff without ever mentioning your business, right? And then that opens the door for you to friend these people, and it gives you something to talk about right off the bat. So, hey, Chance, I'd just like to add you as a friend. I noticed you and I were over here on the Ray Higdon fan page. I thought we should connect. Little stuff like that, you can open the door. Is every single one of those people ever going to join us in our business? Absolutely not. But you begin to expand your influence and the audience you reach. And then when you make a post that's not specifically, come look at my fun life, but it's something interesting, the chances are there's more people out there who are willing to share it, which helps you on Facebook as well. So, you can post on groups, you can do Facebook ads, you can post on your own timeline, but one really powerful technique is to go become involved in these groups and start to get to be known as a contributor to the groups. And it either people will contact you and add you as a friend, or at least they know who you are and they'll recognize your name when you add them. So there's a quick little training we get to squeeze in here today while we're at it too. So, anything else on your mind? I think we're almost done. We're running at about 12 to 13 minutes right now. Wanted to keep this kind of short and be respectful of your time. So, anything else?
What have you found that has worked for you the best?
Primarily what I do, the questions are supposed to go the other way here, by the way. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Primarily what's worked for me is the first thing I did. Let me tell you my story real quick, very, very briefly. I was with another company and doing well enough that I could leave my job. I was on one of my vacations this summer, and my wife and I have been interested in travel for a long time. We enjoy traveling. We're not doing, month-long European trips or anything like that, but we enjoy getting out and visiting different places. And sometime at the beginning of the year, my wife had asked, well, why don't we find a company and travel? Ding! But none of the other ones out there really felt right to me. Really high fees to join or high monthly fees. It didn't make any sense. And so I kept doing what I was doing. We were on vacation, and Tanya actually contacted me and basically said, you should take a look at this. And I took a look at the same lead capture page everybody else sees, and I couldn't believe it, honestly. I don't know how else to put it. I was like, really? And I looked at it for days, all while on vacation, okay? And I just, one night, I was like, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And so basically, I joined, and the next day, I was shooting my first videos, and I was putting up my first, my blog. And because I was actually, had my Surface with me, not a full-fledged computer, I didn't have any of my passwords to go into GoDaddy or my hosting account and set up a whole new blog, so I did it on Blogger and figured this would be an interesting experiment as well into blogging and search engine optimization. Mostly my blog has gotten a good bit of attention, and basically my strategy there is to add content almost every single day. So there's some days I miss. I do YouTube marketing. I have done some free classifieds. Mostly, if you get anything from that, it's pretty poor traffic. I've done some on Facebook, And what you'll find is that a lot of this, the 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 internet and what you do on the internet, you're
Mm-hmm.
building a web. Okay, I know that's a little cliched because it's the World Wide Web, but um, you want people to constantly find you. And
Yeah.
I've heard that over and over that, hey, I saw you over here on IBO Toolbox. I went to YouTube and did a search and found your video. That kind of thing. You want to, it's like politics almost. You want to get into their mind, and then you're the person they're looking for. So most of my stuff has come, honestly, my blog or YouTube. I've done other stuff, and they may have read one thing, maybe an article I posted 2 months ago, and then they
Mm-hmm.
went and find me on Facebook, and then they connect with me, and I direct them back to my lead. So it comes from different directions like that.
Yeah, that's what happened. Is I fell on your blog, and then I went to YouTube and like searched you, and that's when I found all your videos, and that's what really like got me into it. Was after watching all your videos and your blog when you started before My Fun Life, and then like during,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what really pulled me in was the before My Fun Life, because I started with I tried Herbalife for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't like it at all, and it just wasn't for me. And that's how I came across, was to make sure this was for me. So I looked up you through YouTube and searched you so many times before I actually joined.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for the feedback, and thanks for coming on board. I am honored to have you here, and I've told you in our communications that I think you can be a superstar. I really do, because you've got a why, a really powerful why, and you're not afraid to take action. And honestly, those are the two things that so many people who come into the industry and then just sit there. Why isn't it happening for me? Because you're not doing anything. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you know this now. Not every person you talk to will say yes.
Yeah,
But um, I don't ever try to cheapen what we do. But if you talk to enough people, you'll start to get more yeses, and you will get better at how you talk to people, and that'll increase the number of yeses too. So, one of the things I talk about a lot in our trainings is that I don't come in and say, Chance, here's our marketing system. Now squeeze yourself into it. There are thousands of ways to get the word out about what
yeah.
we have to offer. I've been talking to one guy. He has not pulled the trigger yet, but he is extremely interested in the Cha-Ching engine and
Mm-hmm.
taking the fun trips and offering them. And so forwarding with the travel and commission side of it instead of something a little bit different, which is I focus more on the lifestyle side of it.
See, what I want to do is I picked up an idea from when I used to work with vector marketing. Is I want to, as I get more people involved, I want to open up an office and have computers and everything in there so people can work right from that office, and that way everybody has that team momentum, and they're there working together and helping each other every day, or maybe a couple days a week, getting more people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I want to do. I've at the colleges, I've set up meetings for like upcoming weeks to like rent out the library, and all those kids that are picking up the cards, I'm gonna have them come back, come to the library, and talk to them all at once, and try to get them to sign up. If they don't, they don't. If they do, hey, it's great. So,
Fantastic. Can you take your computer in there, have a PowerPoint, and I mean,
yeah,
will they have a projector and everything else?
yep.
Dude, that's strong. That is pretty freaking awesome. Um, One of our upline, David Dubbs, the guy, he's got the Get Three, Teach Three
Okay.
website. I was actually messaging him yesterday, and he's been having good success in colleges as well. I actually had asked him what kind of messages are people either putting up on bulletin boards and things like that, and he didn't give me a straight answer, interestingly enough, but he's actually putting together a movie, a video, a presentation video for the college demographic. So as soon as I hear anything about that, I'll share it with you.
All right.
I tend to take that stuff and redo it myself, so it's my voice and me, and people
Okay.
hear me. But depending on what it is and how it's put together, that's an opportunity to go get a cheap website, slap an embedded video on it, and then boom, go take a look at this website, and it's a presentation for them. I'm pretty excited about where this is going.
This is
So
great. Yeah.
that's awesome. I'm really looking forward to some feedback on how the meetings go for you.
All right.
Cool. Well, let's wrap this up. I wanted to just kind of close with three little notes I made here, um, because again, the reason I had you on is you're making things happen, and I think you've got a bright, bright, bright future here. Number one is because it's there and it's in your family. You've identified your why, right? You
Yeah.
know what you're doing this for, and that's critical for anybody in our profession. You've got to know the deeper meaning you're doing this, because it does take time away from the rest of your life. It does take time away from something else. It takes work. That's
Yeah.
the four-letter word in network marketing. So you've got to have a really good reason to go have to do it, and you've got that, and I could see that turning into action. Number two is I haven't said anything about it so far, but that company you worked with before,
Hmm.
you know, I'm a firm believer that things in life happen for a reason. You were at this other company and you said that's where you learned to talk to people. And
Hmm.
now you can turn around and take that and apply it for your own business, for your own life. So it's taking resources and training that you've had before and being able to apply it right now. And then the final thing, it's silly, but your cards. You know how many people get in this industry and will now need to go spend $5 for a box of cards?
Really.
Yeah. How do you do something if you don't have the tools for it?
Yeah.
If you were going to go out and start a lawn mowing business, are you really going to not go to your copy shop, copy, not coffee, and have some flyers printed up because it costs $5? Are you not going to have business cards printed up to hand out to people? Of course not. So, I mean, something as little as making the decision to go get the tools you need, and you made an interesting decision the way you did it. You didn't just get a general boring business card. You got something that you can use on bulletin boards. It's essentially a sizzle card, something that
Hmm.
gets people's attention at the same time. So I commend you. I'm really excited. I'm really optimistic about where things are going for you. And like I said, I appreciate you being on here and taking the time to just chat with me and share this.
Thank you.
All right, Chance. Well, here, let me hit Paul stop, and we'll finish up. All right, man.